If you wanna find me, yeah, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. It's the best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. If you wanna find me, yo, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. It's the best place to be, I'm in.
What's up, yo? Welcome back to the In the Front Row YouTube channel. This is a brand new episode of Double Trouble for you. Before we get any further, we want to tell you to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below to get all of our new episodes when they are posted. Go ahead and follow us on social media at In the Front Row LA, and our personal links will be down in the bio as well. Now that the intro's out of the way, we are super excited for today's show because it is based, well, we are based in Los Angeles, I should say.
Right here.
Yeah, the virtual background.
The green screen will take you anywhere in the world.
It really will.
Don't pay for like travel tips and hotels. Green screen.
I mean, the travel blogger would be nice. I would do that as a profession. Anyway, we're going to move on to the Los Angeles Lakers because they have a lot of free agency things to figure out. We're going to discuss that today. After what you could say was a disappointing 2021 campaign, the Lakers, I remember they won the title in 2020 in the bubble.
In Orlando.
And, yeah, this year they got the 7th seed in the Western Conference and then lost in the first round to the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. The first time in LeBron James' career he was bounced in the first round.
That's amazing.
Now the front office executives have a lot of discussions because the Lakers only 5 guaranteed contracts heading into next season. Obviously trades and everything could change that, but 5 guaranteed contracts currently right now, and a lot of notable free agents for the Lakers. Alex Caruso, Taylor Horton-Tucker is a restricted free agent, as well as Dennis Schroeder, who turned down a deal twice. Yeah, just to name a few. So let's start with the current roster, and then we'll move who maybe they could bring in from the outsider through trades. We'll start with anyone on the team that is a restricted free agent, unrestricted free agent, doesn't matter. We'll just say free agent. Anyone on the team that the Lakers must sign?
No. If I am LeBron, if I'm Rob Pelinka, I guess Anthony Davis has some say. Not as much as LeBron, obviously, we know. But I'm not keeping any of them. I know. And people are going to be like, you know, when you trade the farm for someone like Anthony Davis, you do give up a lot, and your roster is going to thin out because that's just how it happens. You give up a lot of role players, a lot of draft picks. It's hard to, if you want to say rebuild for the Lakers, it's hard, you know, when you're giving up draft picks and players. It thins out the roster, and most teams who, like, if you want to say are run by superstars, which is a good idea in the NBA. If you're a GM, get your team run by superstars because that's how you win. But it does thin out your roster, and, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm not. The only player I would consider keeping, because I think Dennis Schroeder's price tag is going to be too heavy to bring him back for Los Angeles. I think he's a good player. I just think his price tag isn't reasonable enough if you're the Lakers right now, is Alex Caruso. If you can get Alex Caruso at a reasonable price, he's a good defensive player, he's a good shooter, and he brings a lot of energy off the bench. So I just think that's the only player I'm really looking at. I'm like, yeah, if you do bring him back, I wouldn't be mad if I was a Lakers fan. But besides that, LeBron be shipping, you know, packing some suitcases out of town for him. That's it.
Alex Caruso, according to many sports experts online, the most valuable free agent that the Lakers that played for the Lakers last season. He's going to be the one that's getting the most intel from other teams. I think you have to bring Alex Caruso back. I think he brings a presence off the bench that is unmatched, and you need depth on your team. We've seen it throughout these playoffs. And really, when you're, I mean, I think this was a shortened season, obviously. Fatigue sets in for a longer season. You
shortened off season.
Yeah, you need that depth. I think he's the one worth bringing back, a presence off your bench that can come in and give you good defensive minutes as well as get to the bucket and orchestrate things. So I think he's one that you really should focus signing if you are the Lakers.
Anybody else?
I don't know, because I think Dennis Schroeder, I agree with you. I think his price tag's a little high. Honestly, I don't mean to be rude.
I mean, after the playoffs, probably.
That's but I don't mean to be rude. We saw in the playoffs he struggled during the first round, and I think you need somebody. I guess is a good transition because you need somebody who's, I think, a little more he's a veteran but has a little more playoff experience because you have those big superstars. As you said, obviously, many people debate if Anthony Davis was healthy during the series. Would it be well, no, I'm saying if he was healthy, would it be a different outcome in the Lakers?
Yes.
We wouldn't be sitting here talking how LeBron James.
If anyone says it would have been the same, if Phoenix would have beat them, stop it.
Chris Paul was injured during the series. There's a lot of variables that go into the postseason, including injuries. That's just
what happens. At his healthiest, they dominated game 2 and 3, and then he got hurt in game 4, and they lost 3 in a row.
I'm just saying,
stop it.
We'll see. I'm not giving you an answer, but I'm saying many people, many people would say that.
No, I get it.
You know, they would have advanced the first round. Obviously, we'll never know, and injuries are part of the postseason.
Well, of course.
a lot of notable free agents this year. It's a good class. Anyone that the Lakers should target for LeBron James and Anthony Davis, maybe that third big player, maybe a veteran that they need. Yeah. Who are you looking at for the Lakers to bring?
I think the way to build a roster, and I think Daryl Morey does a really good job of this. I mean, he's obviously in Philly now, but what he did, I think Anthony Davis and LeBron are better than Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. They're all obviously superstars in the NBA. But look for 3-and-D guys. I think that's who you surround, because LeBron is a good shooter. LeBron's never been known for, splash like Steph Curry or Damian Lillard. He's never been known for that. Anthony Davis had one amazing playoffs in the bubble last year. I'm talking from three-point wise. I'm not talking, obviously, Anthony Davis is dominant on the inside when he's healthy. But three-point wise, so he's not the best shooter either. I mean, he is 7 feet tall, so, that's not what he's – I mean, some 7-footers can shoot, I guess, like Dirk and stuff. But you know what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is LeBron and AD aren't, like, the best shooters. So bring in 3-and-D guys. That's what I'm looking at. Tim Hardaway played in Dallas last year, obviously. I don't know if he's much on the defensive end, but he gives you a spark from the three-point line. I just think the Lakers need more shooters. So I'm looking at someone like Tim Hardaway. I'm not sure about Danny Green if he's a free agent now, but like a player like that, like Danny Green. I know the Lakers experiment, people made in Game 5 when he missed that big three. But I'm just talking players like him, like a 3-and-D guy. That's who I'm looking at. And, I mean, if you can go make a big trade, make a big trade. But I just don't think the Lakers have the assets. I mean, the NBA, if you want something and you're a big market, you're going to get it. But that's a conversation we can table for another day. But realistically looking at it, I just don't think the Lakers have the assets to make a big move, like go get someone like Damian Lillard, who's unhappy in Portland. So, like, I think 3-and-D guys, that's what you're looking at. Tim Hardaway, someone like, I think Danny Green is a free agent, but someone like that is who I'm looking at. Maybe, and the other guy, I guess 2 Dallas guys, Josh Richardson. I think Josh Richardson would be an amazing, if they can go get someone like him. Someone like that is who I'm looking at if I'm the Lakers.
I think I think the person they have to get, if I'm thinking, is Derrick Rose. And I know I think I know the Lakers have, there's been reports of it circulating over the past 20 hours since it's been, or before this was taped, like about like for the past day, that the Lakers are interested in Derrick Rose. I think that. Because if you look, the one thought that I immediately came to mind is that's when I was saying the veteran presence earlier. You saw Rajon Rondo in the bubble last year, how he really impacted playing with LeBron James and
Tyler doesn't play him.
And no, well, that's a question for another day. But another show. But I think I think if you bring in someone like Derrick Rose, that's what I was like, you need that veteran presence who can orchestrate. LeBron won't have to focus so much on being a point guard. I know, or even though Rajon Rondo was there, LeBron didn't he lead the league in assists last season? Yeah. But I still think that he won't. That's not. He doesn't have to play that role as well. He can. Just worry about scoring the ball like he should. And I think. It gives you more balance to your offense. We saw in the postseason of the Knicks loss in the first round. Derrick Rose had some big games, and he still got it.
They would have beat
the Hawks. That's what I'm saying. He still got it, and I think if you sign him for a 1 or 2 year deal, just to kind of help maybe bring someone in after him. You can always worry about that later. Draft somebody. You never know that could develop into that role. But I think you need a veteran presence. I think the Lakers, they have LeBron James and they have Anthony Davis. But I think they need that big leader kind of presence, IQ mind.
No, I like that because I like Derrick Rose. I think what he brings, and like I said, Derrick Rose, well, he wasn't supposed to, but he was basically the first option to play out for the Knicks because obviously Julius Randle and RJ Barrett struggled for them. But I like Derrick Rose. He doesn't have to be the main guy, obviously, with LeBron and AD on the team. I do like that. Another guy I would look into, and I don't know where his price tag is going to be, so the Lakers, it might not be worth it. But someone like DeMar DeRozan. If you can go get DeMar DeRozan and convince him that, championship aspirations, obviously he was booted out of town before Toronto went to the finals with Kawhi. Obviously in that Kawhi DeMar DeRozan deal. But someone like that who can bring off your bench and who can score when the second unit comes on the floor. If you can convince DeMar DeRozan to take a little bit of a pay cut and be like, hey, I think he's a California guy, to be honest, if I remember right off the top of my head. I think he's a California guy. Hey, we're competing for a championship. DeMar DeRozan's at the point in his career where we consider a veteran. He's a little older now. He's been the star of a team, obviously, in Toronto, and LeBron kicked his butt all those years, but he's been a star of a team. If he can buy into the, hey, I'm older now, let's go chase a ring, I think bringing DeMar DeRozan off the bench to score for you, that might be an interesting option as well.
And the only issue with that, I mean, he's not that great of a shooter if you're looking for more.
Maybe he's a second unit guy who can convince him at the right price.
I think he also would rather start in the NBA. I think that would be a difficult sign for the Lakers, if I'm being honest.
At this point?
I still think so. Yeah, I still think he can fit into a starting rotation. We want to do that. I mean,
on a bad team or not on an average to bad team, he can. Not on a good team.
I mean, we'll see. One more question I do want to ask before, and we don't really have to.
I think I know where it's going.
We don't have to really extend into this. Just a very quick answer before we wrap up. Should the Lakers trade Kyle Kuzma?
Boom! I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
I would say yes, but what are you gonna get for him? Like, what are you gonna? I guess if you like involve him in a trade package with other players and picks, and you can involve him in a package that goes and gets another star, if you want to say, or even like a third banana to LeBron AD. I guess so, but I just don't. I think I'll just say this, and this is where I'll keep it. I think the Lakers missed their opportunity to trade Kyle Kuzma. I think you should have traded him when the market was hot for him. I just don't think it's there anymore.
I guess we will see moving forward. Guys, we are going to wrap it up this segment. We'll see what the Lakers do if they do bring anybody and what they do with their decisions that they have to make now. A lot of free agents, like we said, only 5 guaranteed contracts right now heading in to next season. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us and follow us on social media. All the links are down below. And we're going to wrap this up, but we'll see you next time.
My 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. The best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be. So what's colder than ice and even hotter than a flame? I'll be in the front row chilling out.